They can bring you in warm, or they can bring you in cold. A bounty hunter doesn't care as long as they collect.
Bounty hunting is apparently a really popular occupation in comic books, but some are more ruthless than others.
And that's why today on Top 10 Nerd, we're talking about the top 10 bounty hunters you pray don't come for you.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go to church. In at 10, Death's Head. In the dimension of Styrakos, Death's Head was originally created by the mage Lupex, who sought to extend his life by transferring his spirit into a robotic body that would contain his spirit forever. This is starting to give me some PTSD. However, his former disciple Pyra double-crossed him and programmed the body with an independent personality that was clinical and businesslike when it came to death and killing. Pyra intended for the robot to fight back against Lupex's attempt to process it and destroy him, but the body was stolen before that could happen. As a mechanoid, Death's Head possesses superhuman strength, stability, durability, agility, and reflexes, and originally standing at 30 feet tall, their strength was likely in the 100-ton range. However, after being shrunken down to around 7 feet in height by the Doctor, their strength was reduced significantly to a possible maximum of 25 tons. So not a big difference, but still not a good thing. They're also an excellent marksman, able to knock out some of the Fantastic Four's roof defenses and hit the Fantastic Four's rogue security system in the air. Additionally, they're a skilled combatant and able to hold their own against several known fighters like the Hulk, and I know that you all have a hard-on for the Hulk, so I hope that establishes the baseline.
Number 9, Lady Hellbender. Lady Hellbender, the regent of Seknarf 9, isn't really a bounty hunter in the traditional sense that we might think. If anything, she's more like a bounty giver, but she gives herself those bounties. So basically, Marguerite Hellbender lived with her gambling-addicted pops and her pet monster Bees, who was like a giant space cat alien thing. And it was a very gentle creature despite his mean look. To cover his debts, Marguerite's father took Bees and threw her into a gladiatorial beast fighting arena and even bet against Bees as he knew Bees was just a little gentle creature. Watching Bees get torn to pieces thanks to the cruel nature of society and greed, Hellbender went forward to become an incredibly capable warrior, the ruler of an entire planet, and she dedicated herself to a galaxy-wide search for different rare and strong monsters in order to bring them to her beast sanctuary. On this mission, she has come into contact with powerful beings like Fing Fang Foom, the totally awesome Hulk, Venom, and more. And if she can take those guys on, what chance do you think you would stand against her? Probably none, because you suck.
In at 8, Boba Fett. That's right, we got some Star Wars on here. Boba Fett, the notorious former bounty hunter, made a name for himself throughout the Galactic Republic's fall to the end of the Galactic Empire. Raised by the legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Jango Fett, Boba was originally known as Alpha and was an unaltered clone of his father, which I mean technically is just the way that sons are, but this is more literal in that sense. With a customized suit of Mandalorian armor, Boba honed his combat and martial arts skills from a young age and quickly became one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy during Palpatine's reign. His legendary reputation included contracts for both the Empire and the extensive criminal underworld, because of course he was a bounty hunter. But as a bounty hunter, he was infamous and well known with galactic fugitives with bounties on their heads, because if he came for you, you know what was gonna happen. His father trained him in combat skills and quickly mastered them, hand-to-hand, weapons, whatever he wanted he would just do, because, you know, plot. But his skills continued to grow, and despite his body condition, he was capable of using strategy, tactics, and brute force to make work of literally everyone. Okay, we all know who Boba Fett is, and if he wasn't on this list, I feel like a majority of you would be pretty mad.
Number 7, Jonah Hex. The deadliest man alive in the 19th century, Jonah Hex made quite a name for himself as a grizzled, quick-drawing bounty hunter. His father sold him to the Apaches as an unwilling servant when he was just a boy. After saving the tribe's chief from a puma, Jonah was elevated from his lowly position to a member of the chief's family. This upset the chief's real son, who also had eyes for the same girl as Jonah, and he betrayed his adopted brother when he was 16, leaving him for dead with their enemies. Jonah survived though, and fought in the Civil War on the side of the Confederacy until his morals got the better of him and he switched sides. After the war, he returned to the Apaches and, in a trial of combat, was forced to break the rules, taking the life of the chief's son who betrayed him all those years ago. As punishment for that though, the Apaches horribly burned Jonah's face. Alone and disfigured, Jonah was inspired to become a bounty hunter after taking down his first criminal, the outlaw Mad Dog Lucas McGill, with one of the fastest draws ever seen. He had a long career as a fearsome and monstrous bounty hunter who was actually sort of a decent guy with a little soft center right there.
And at 6, Deadshot. Deadshot, also known as Floyd Lawton, is a highly skilled mercenary and the world's deadliest marksman in the DC universe. He has created an armored suit that gives him an advantage in combat against even Batman, and Floyd is just known for his incredible precision and accuracy. He has the nickname the man who never misses. Like, Deadshot means when he takes a shot, you're dead. He possesses an extensive knowledge of human anatomy and is an expert in hand-to-hand combat due to his military training and other skills. He wears a durable suit that can withstand high levels of damage from weapons, explosives, electrical shocks. His helmet is also particularly fortified, making it resistant to most physical attacks, but also comes equipped with advanced technology including night vision, infrared vision, binoculars, a thermometer. Like, the helmet is basically just God, but as a helmet. It also enhances his hearing, allowing him to hear even the slightest sounds, such as a flapping hummingbird wing. Not even kidding. With the lethal combination of skills, tech, weaponry, dude, if he's coming after you, you just run. Like, actually, you know what? Just bury yourself. It'll probably be less painful.
Number 5, Lobo. Lobo is one of DC Comics' most well-known bounty hunters. He is completely obsessed with completing contracts and won't stop until the job is complete, and he's done some pretty insane things to make that happen. Lobo was able to take out the New Gods, who are all ridiculously powerful, but in the same story, he's captured and restrained by just 3 Green Lanterns. I don't know how that works. He's been able to knock out Superman, regenerate himself from like a little bit of liquid, and has been deemed immortal and banned from both heaven and hell. He can track anyone he has met across the galaxy, is immune to psychic attacks. He's a genius, can break the fourth wall, can possess others, speaks 17,000 different languages, can clone himself, can travel time and space with his motorcycle, and in one story, he literally takes out every superhero, and man, he punched Santa's head off. That's different. As a bounty hunter, he does operate with some messed up form of moral integrity though. For the most part, there's very little mercy to be shown once he has his eyes on a target. If Lobo was after me, I'd just give up. The guy has pet space dolphins. I don't even know what that means.
And at 4, Silver Sable. After her mother was destroyed in a bombing, Silver implored her father to teach her how to avenge her mother's death. Despite his initial reluctance, Silver's father eventually saw her potential and started training her. When he passed away, Silver took over the Wild Pack and founded Silver Sable International. She first met Spider-Man while pursuing the Black Fox, and although she nearly caught him with the help of the New York City police, Spider-Man's actions inadvertently interfered. Silver Sable possesses an indomitable will and was able to resist a worldwide psychic manipulation courtesy of the goddess, and she's also highly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, martial arts, marksmanship, sword fighting, and gymnastics. Yeah, she's the whole package, literally. She's also an expert strategist and leader capable of quickly assessing the strengths and weaknesses of her opponents. Silver Sable has even managed to hold her own against the Punisher, using her reflexes to dodge his attacks and fight back with equal ferocity. So you know what, if Silver Sable's coming for you, actually I would let it happen.
Number 3, Black Krrsantan. I think most of us can agree that Wookiees in the Star Wars universe are kinda awesome. They're incredibly powerful, so much so that they'll rip your arms out of your sockets, or at least that's what I heard. The most well-known of the Wookiees is Chewbacca, and he's great, a competent warrior and a fierce friend. Well, Black Krrsantan is like the polar opposite of Chewie. Black Krrsantan was banished from the Wookiee home planet Kashyyyk, and instead of going to live a chill, banished life, BK sought out the Zonti brothers, who were crime lords that ran the infamous fighting pits. To do this, the Wookiee wiped out multiple groups of underlings until he found the ones that worked for the brothers, getting on board their ship and commanding them to take him to the brothers. He willingly entered himself into the fighting pits and had his skeletal structure altered so as to make him even more formidable than he already is as a freaking big Wookiee. Specifically, he was given metal knuckles, which made him incredibly deadly. This dangerous Wookiee would go on to work with Jabba the Hutt, almost defeating Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's fought Han Solo and Chewbacca, was hired by Darth Vader alongside Boba Fett, and he's become one of the most infamous bounty hunters in the galaxy, which is really cool.
But ultimately, in at number 2, Lobo the Duck. That's right, another version of Lobo, but Lobo the Duck is, strangely enough, the combination of Lobo, obviously, and Donald Duck. Actually, no, I'm kidding, it's Howard the Duck, but they were introduced in Lobo the Duck number 1 from 1997 and are present on Earth 9602 in a timeline where the Amalgam heroes have died. Lobo the Duck is a fearless and strangely muscular, especially for a duck, anti-hero bounty hunter, who, along with his shape-shifting canine sidekick Impossible Dog, dog is investigating the deaths of several Amalgam comic superheroes. Lobo only agrees to find the killers for these heroes if he gets paid up front, and then he begins the investigation. Lobo fights his way through Gold Kidney Lady, Dr. Bongface, and other various supervillains before he realizes that the end of the world is about to begin and only he can stop it. He has all of Lobo's powers and abilities, including immortality, super strength, and mastery of basically every weapon, but he also has genius level intellect, a superhuman sense of smell, and can track anyone or anything across galaxies. Oh, and he's a master of quack fu. Yeah, I just wanted an excuse to mention that, but honestly, immortality also makes him pretty damn powerful.
Number 1, Taskmaster. Tony Masters came into this world with the incredibly cool ability of photographic reflexes, which basically allows him to mimic the movements made by others with only the briefest amount of observation. This made him an insanely fast learner when it came to any sort of physical skill, but specifically combat. He joined up with S.H.I.E.L.D. as an agent, which is when he found himself injected with a German version of the super soldier serum, which made his ability even more powerful by allowing him to absorb knowledge instantly, become hypercognitive in skill observation and retention, and enhance his short-term memory. This made him one of the greatest, most formidable armed and unarmed combatants in the Marvel Universe. He has truly mastered all forms of martial arts, as well as learning the unique and personal fighting styles of more than 40 different heroes, a lot of whom have superpowers that enhance their physical movements. Yeah, well, Tony can even push himself to mimic those movements, giving him essentially enhanced reflexes, agility, and speed if he needs it. This regular dude has come out on top facing Asgardians, so that should really tell you everything you need to know. After his time with S.H.I.E.L.D., Tony is essentially hired by whoever is paying the highest amount, even accepting contracts to help train new recruits for the Thunderbolts and other various organizations. With the ability to perfectly replicate any fighting style or move you make, there is almost nothing that us regular people could do if Taskmaster was on our trail. We would just be done. We would be done. You would be done. I'm still talking, I don't know why. Well, that's it for the bounty hunters.
I'd love for one of them to take me out.
You want on a date?
No, thanks for watching.
Bye!